Hey everybody, it is day 31 of my 90 days of dating myself challenge. And I also want to touch on a binge eating disorder recovery tip. That was the first challenge I did for 90 days, was to stop my binge eating behaviors. It wasn't perfect, but overall a success, made a lot of strides, so I still want to incorporate recovery tips from that in here as well. So let's start with that, and then I'm going to get to my dating myself activity for today. So I did feel an urge to binge a little bit earlier. I had said this before in my last series, but there's something about doing laundry that gives me binge urges sometimes. I think because it's an activity where I'm running up and down a lot, loading, bringing, hauling things down to the laundry room, coming back up where I don't feel very grounded just doing the activities. So I think that the urges to binge are oh, this is a lot of running around and this sucks. I need grounding. And so sometimes the tips I talk about to ward off a binge are, can be emotionally or spiritually intense, and sometimes they're really simple. So I acknowledged it, right? I caught the urge and I was like, you know what, that's not gonna help. But sometimes for just a quick something to just soothe the oral fixation a little bit. Altoids. I had a few Altoids, I caught it, and then the urge went away within a few minutes. I'm not saying Altoids cure binge eating. What I'm saying is sometimes it does help, when you are tackling those urges, to just simply have a mint, lozenge, just a little something can help a little bit with the physical consumption, to put something in your mouth for safety. That does not sound like the right words that I want to say. But anyway, a binge eating urge tip among a lot of other things. So my dating myself activity for today, I'm excited for this, and I'm modifying it a little bit from what the original thing was. So the original thing was to, I think the original prompt was to complete a vision board with what I want my next relationships to look like. But as I'm going through my journey, I'm this is about more than my next relationship. The goal of this is not necessarily to come out of here and have a relationship. Having a long relationship is not necessarily a life goal of mine, although I'd welcome it with the right person. So drilling down to the core, I was well, what's the purpose of that activity, right? What's the need that it is fulfilling? And the need that it's fulfilling is seeing, getting clarity on the possibility of what my life would be like if my personal values, right, which are all outlined here. I know you can't read all of it, but I'm just giving you kind of a brief visual of the activity I did. Maybe you want to do the same, right? So I wrote down values, aspired values. I also wrote down distractions from values on here, so I can kind of be more mindful of them and catch them, because I do experience that, I am somebody who I have a lot of values, but over the years, I've let things distract myself from them and take me out of center. So I have that, and then I have this over here, which I created a couple of weeks ago. So what I did is that I basically made 4 categories of types of relationships that have those romantic or intimate elements to them, right? So there's the friends with benefits category, there's the dating values category, relationship values, from when you make the bridge to dating, okay, we're committed now, and then marriage/long-term relationship values, right? And there's a lot of overlap between the 4 of these, but some are kind of different depending on the relationship. So basically, the original purpose of that vision boarding activity was to take the relationship values and make a piece of art out of it, right? So I could kind of see that possibilities, channel that, and stay focused on it. But again, I don't want it to be just about the future relationship. I want it to be about me too. I want this possibilities activity to be the fusion between my values, right, and my personal values and values in a relationship, right? They say that, a relationship, gosh, what is the quote I'm thinking of? Maybe some of you have heard of it and are thinking of it now before I say it. But I did hear a quote once that went something along the line. It goes something along the lines like, a good relationship, enhances an already rich life, right? Like it doesn't bring people a rich life. It's supposed to enhance one that is already thriving. And when I think of my future, like I don't want to think of a relationship in like an isolated context, right? Like it's part of a life that I am creating right now, that as of right now, today, I do feel like my life is incredibly rich. I feel like I'm creating a really good life for myself. So a relationship should enhance that, like not be something that we are seeking to be an answer to something that's missing. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to meditate on my personal values and my relationship values for a little bit. I may still do some kind of vision board, but I'm going to do some kind of creativity. I'm going to meditate, I'm going to get into it and kind of see what the moment inspires me to do. Whatever I come up with, I will share with everyone tomorrow. But that is my self-care Saturday. That is what I'm doing today. So thank you for checking this and staying up to date with me on this. Thanks for watching. And I will talk to you all tomorrow for day 32, Sunday. Thanks.